Welcome back to the Anglers Extra pregame show. I'm Jack Smith alongside Sheets for the Manager Show. Sheets, not the cleanest win yesterday, but you improved to 2-1 with a 5-1 win over YD. What was your biggest takeaway from the game?
That wins, even though they're ugly, they still count as wins. That's part of it, man. You're going to have games that, maybe don't look so pretty on the scoreboard or don't fall into place the way you drew it up. But, man, I think for us, it's the way to persevere through when you don't have your best. Find unique ways to win, chalk it up, move on the next day.
What's your diagnosis of this pitching staff through 3 games?
Man, I'm beyond fired up at what Coach Beatty's been able to do with the staff. The one thing we talked about is, again, it falls under the 4 A's, but it's got to be attack, it's got to be aggressive, and I think the pitching staff so far has really adopted that mentality and brought that with them to the mound. It is tough, it is aggressive, it's coming at you, it wants contact. Again, to go through that last night and the comparisons of the walks on our side versus their side, that tells the tale of what this pitching staff's about, and he's doing a phenomenal job. Love our dudes that are down there. Like the way we're throwing, I think we're in a good place.
If you didn't check out the box score yesterday, Chatham struck out 16 and walked 0. Yeah. Coach, what were your thoughts?
Fired up. I mean, geez. It was one of those games kind of ugly in a lot of parts. It was ugly for us early offensively, but again, I think what we talked about last night was the ability for our pitching staff to hang zeros, gave us a chance to breathe, get settled in, flip a game script right in the middle of it and turn on a dime and go a different way. And again, huge kudos. That's the first thing I said last night to our group. The pitching staff helped us win this game based on the way they threw and the way they dominated their offense.
How do you process an offensive day in which your offense had 2 hits, struck out 19 times, but put up 5 runs and won the game?
It's pretty, again, you find unique ways to score runs. Again, what we talked a lot is helping people understand it is about getting on base. If you're on base, you got a chance to score. And I think if you think that you can come up in this league and average 10 runs a game, if you think you can average 10 hits a game, it ain't happening. Like, it's the players are too good. And, right now we've got dudes at every spot on the field and dudes on the mound. But it is about finding unique ways to win. So, again, I'm helping our guys try to refocus their attention on it's not about get a hit. It's about get on base. Any way that we can, take a little bit off the swing at times, make a little more contact. We're going to challenge them a little bit with 2-strike contact. And that's just from a standpoint of, man, contact wins. If you put yourself in positions that it pressures the defense, generally as an offense, it tips your way. So we're trying to get them over in that direction.
What's the difference in mentality for a player that is looking to get a hit when they step up to the plate versus looking to get on base?
Yeah, sometimes every at-bat doesn't have a pitch to get a hit on. That's just reality. And I think sometimes as hitters, you go up in the box and you're hunting what you want instead of what you're going to get. And, every hitter walks up and they want a fastball that's middle in at the belt, and very few guys are going to lay that there, especially in this league. You had guys last night that were effectively wild. So if you think that they're going to pinpoint a pitch exactly where you want it, you're missing the boat. You got to think in speed. You got to think in spots. You got to, again, recognize the way that these guys are getting thrown are, let's stay away from contact on the other side. They're pitching a lot of middle away fastballs, but our guys are still hunting middle in. Easy switch, Jack. You just got to change the mentality, recognize what you're getting, make the switch, and you see John Bay smoke that ball to center field. It's an easy indicator that our guys are starting to click, so I like where we're heading.
After the loss to ID, you wanted the guys to work on hitting the outside fastball. Yeah. Were you satisfied with the way they did that last game?
Not yet. I think it takes time. It takes consistency. It's one of those things that's contagious. When you have a team that's really confident and going to the backside, it radiates through your dugout, because then the guys start talking about it and they start seeing more and more guys have success doing it. And when they see that, they feel, man, I want a piece of that. I want that feeling. So, again, I think it takes time. We're starting to get it bit by bit. And once again, we're just continuing to stay consistent with our message, give them the tips, give them the secrets, and just let them try to play it out on their own terms. But for them, man, it's about their growth, and it's about sometimes you got to take a step back before you take 2 steps forward. And we're okay with that. It's part of the process.
Jack Smith here with Sheets on the Manager Show ahead of Chatham versus Hyannis. The Harbor Hawks, the only 3-0 team in the league. What are your thoughts?
I didn't even know that before we got here today. That stuff I don't keep up with. I know it's a good team. Every team in the Cape is a really good team. So for us, chance to come in and play a really talented group. It's really cool to meet Mitch, and we're the 2 new guys in the league. So chance to meet him and watch his team play. First time visiting Hyannis, and certainly we're looking for a great ball game.
Eric Beatty, your pitching coach, coached here last year. Did he tell you anything about Hyannis, and how impressed have you been with him so far this year?
Yeah, no, we've talked about certainly his time here and his experiences, and there's hopefully a little edge in our dugout. We want to win this one for him, coming back to the spot where he was. Beyond fired up. It was really cool when I got the gig. I had called Jamie Shevchik over at Brewster, and I said, I'm looking for a pitching coach, and he said, well, Eric is just on the market, like fresh on the market. And I didn't know him. We don't know each other, before that call. And we got on a call, and you could just feel right away it's a genuine spirit. It's a really good dude. It's a dude that gets it. It's a dude that's had experience in this league. It's a dude that's had a ton of success. And then for me, it's like, I need a guy that I can lend the pitching side of things to, let him run it the way that he wants to run it. You can see the result. But it's for, again, keeping a guy with experience in the league on our staff. And it's been amazing. He's one of my dear friends right now. He's guiding these young assistants that we have, which is great. You got to have that older experience. But again, for us, man, he's been awesome so far. We're so happy to have him in Chatham with us.
Every manager has a different philosophy on playing on the road. What's yours?
Win. Is there another one? Is there a different way to do it? It's about comfortability. I think one thing you notice over time, a lot of teams obviously play really well at their home field, and maybe on the away field it changes a little bit. We just want to stay consistent. If we can play our best wherever we go, despite the circumstances, one of the mentalities, Jack, is you've got to deny those circumstances. It's not about a away game. It's not about a road game. It's not about a bad umpire or good umpire. It's not about a dude on the mound versus an average guy. It's just about being consistent with who you are. When that shows up over and over again, you get a chance to really figure out who you are and make adjustments off that. If you're trying to pick and choose and move and dart and ride the roller coaster, you can't make adjustments off that because you were high one day and low the next. It doesn't work. We got to be consistent. We're trying to find consistency, and here's another opportunity to do it.
Chatham takes on 3-0 Hyannis coming up. First pitch here at McKeon Park. Sheets, again, thanks for the time.
Thanks, Jack. Appreciate you.
That'll do it for us here on the Manager Show. Let's send it back to Andrew Selliver as the Anglers Extra pregame show continues.